Last time, we saw a very different Namek arc, and given what's happened in the series so far, the more things change, the more it's going to affect the story going forward. Well, that kind of goes without saying, but this time, as we head into the stuff after Namek, there's going to be some major implications going forward. We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 5 of What If Gohan Trained Like Goku. Gohan is now on the top of the group. With access to Super Saiyan, he's the strongest, although he doesn't necessarily have a huge control in it right now. Piccolo is the strongest just in terms of his base power, but Gohan, now that he has this power, it's so insane. Everyone can't even wrap their heads around it, especially considering Gohan's age. He's the youngest in the group right now. At his age, Goku wasn't nearly that strong. Goku's not even that strong now. They wonder if anyone could ever reach that level. But Goku's confident. He'll be the next to unlock Super Saiyan. I mean, he is training with Gohan after all, and if his son's a Super Saiyan, of course he should be able to do it too. Not to mention, if he doesn't become a Super Saiyan, he can't really be the best training partner and teacher for his son. So it's not just the desire for his own power, but a desire to help Gohan control his own power, because if Goku gets it, it can help Gohan with his own strength. With Vegeta hearing about Gohan becoming a Super Saiyan, he has no clue what to think. He sensed the spike of power, and he even witnessed it firsthand too at one point. Not to mention he did see it on Namek briefly. How is a kid Saiyan that powerful? Not to mention a low-class Saiyan at that. He's just the son of a low-class warrior, and he's the Super Saiyan? The first one? There's no way it's possible. Maybe the Super Saiyan isn't as exclusive as he thought. He must be able to get it. There's no way he can, because if Gohan can, Vegeta should be able to. He's gonna train non-stop until he gets it. Nothing's gonna get in his way. He begins putting all of his effort into it, training as intensely as possible. He'll become a Super Saiyan, and he'll become the strongest. Other than him though, nobody's really doing too intensive training. People are still training, especially Goku and Gohan, but there's not really much to train for anyways. People still basically have the same motivations as normal, and this continues for a while. Not only does King Cold not show up to Earth with Frieza, but there's no time traveler either. No future Trunks, no future Gohan, I even did future Goku before, none of those. Just no time traveler. There's a reason for that, and we'll be seeing that in a bit. We continue onwards. Years and years pass, and at some point, Goku falls ill. Everyone tries everything they can to help. There's no medicine, there's no cure. Hell, even if they try to summon Shenron, they might not even get the Dragon Balls in time. Because as soon as this virus comes on, Goku ends up dying from it. Shenron can't bring him back either. It was a natural cause. It was the heart virus. With no time traveler or no warning, it just hits them. Goku's gone, and there's nothing they can do about it. All of his friends can't believe it. Vegeta's surprised to see someone so strong being taken down by this. By now, Goku's actually a Super Saiyan. Vegeta is too. And as much as Vegeta hates to admit it, Goku was powerful. As a Super Saiyan, he was starting to get control over that. And someone so strong got taken down by that, a virus. It's unbelievable, but even more so for his family. Gohan has no clue what to think. All he knows is he wants to keep up his father's spirit. Everything he's learned from Goku, he's gonna take that and grow even stronger than before. Without Goku to help protect everybody, Gohan has to step up and do so. He already is the strongest, and he only needs to get stronger from here on out. Keeping that same motivation, training just like Goku. He's already learned so much from him, he could put that to use. Continuing to train and grow even stronger, having that same drive that Goku did. They even consider, what if they went to Namek again too? Maybe Piranga doesn't have those same limitations that Shenron has. Maybe he can bring back someone who's died from natural causes. But Piccolo says that's not going to happen. Piccolo has some knowledge from the Namekians that he fused with. For what he knows, Piranga has the same limit. It's no use. But they'll figure out a way to bring Goku back. They want to. But soon enough, there's a new threat that shows up. One that's completely unexpected. In a city one day, there's an attack. 2 people. They look like normal teenagers. No alien threat or anything. But they're wearing a very familiar symbol that people recognize. The symbol of the Red Ribbon Army. The infamous army that was defeated long ago by Goku. And naturally, this leads to them encountering the Z Fighters. So there's a few different things here with the androids too. Obviously there's no 19 or 20. Without Trunks or Cell coming back in time, 17 and 18 are the only androids here. And they're not going to be stronger than normal because, well, this is essentially the events of Trunks' timeline here. At least in terms of how the androids were made. Obviously a lot of other things went differently here. But without time travel, there's no separate timelines. And that leaves the androids just being like this, 17 and 18. The same ones that Trunks actually encountered in his story. Trunks actually is born here too, by the way. But obviously he's too young to fight. Thankfully, they still have a really strong group though. Gohan, Piccolo, and Vegeta. They're all there to face off against these threats. Plus the human fighters as well. The androids are a bit annoyed to find out that Goku's already dead, but whatever. They don't really care about Jiro's directives anyways. Yeah, they were made to kill him, but they can still have fun in their own way here. They're just gonna go around destroying things. That's what they want to do. And fighting these people should be fun. So the androids are slightly weaker, due to them being the same ones that Trunks faced off against. And our group is actually slightly stronger. Vegeta was more motivated than ever, especially seeing Gohan become a Super Saiyan, not just Goku. So he's a little bit above where he is normally. Piccolo's also stronger too, having more Namekians fused within him. And it kinda goes without saying that Gohan's way stronger than normal. So instead of the androids just completely washing everybody, the fight's actually a lot closer. The first encounter is actually a tough battle. but it becomes clear that the androids are getting an advantage. They have infinite energy. And sure, Gohan, Piccolo, and Vegeta are pretty strong, but all the androids need to do is get rid of one of them, and that helps dismantle the group. First, they're able to defeat Vegeta, knocking him to the side. He tries to get back up and fight again, but an attack from Android 18 knocks him completely unconscious. She sticks out a hand about to eliminate him completely, but then Piccolo launches him. His attacks aren't strong enough to actually fully damage her, but they're strong enough to at least phase her. But of course that's not going to do too much either. Gohan's already fighting 17 at the moment, and is actually kind of holding him off, but he's having a tough time as well. And he looks over. Vegeta's already down. The humans have already been defeated too. Thankfully, he can still feel their energy. They're all still alive. But if the androids even have one opening, they're going to kill everyone here. They're already defeated. Some of them are knocked out cold. It's just him and Piccolo. 18 toys around with Piccolo as well. And then Piccolo feels a burst of power nearby as Vegeta gets back up. Barely standing, but trying to use the last of his power to attack. 18 simply points a hand at the ground, launching a blast that knocks both of them away. Vegeta's knocked out once again, with Piccolo following suit. She picks both of them up, flinging them over to where the humans are. With all of them lined up neatly, she then joins Android 17 to fight against Gohan. And actually, she has a pretty fun idea. Another way to torment this kid. 17 and 18 fight Gohan together, trying to incapacitate him. 18 delivers a powerful kick to Gohan's gut, with 17 then elbowing him right in the head. He then grabs onto Gohan, holding him in place. 18 smirks as she then looks over at the rest of the group. Gohan's on the brink of unconsciousness, but 17 hits him to wake him up. He's going to want to stay awake and watch this. It would be a shame if he missed the fireworks after all. He has no clue what they're talking about, but sees 18 with a hand outstretched with a blast charge in front of him. It's aimed right at everyone nearby. Gohan's eyes widen. He tells her not to do it, but the two of them laugh. She launched the blast at the group. A massive ball of ki heads towards all of them. Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Ten, Yamcha, all of them. They tried so hard to fight against the androids, and this is where they're gonna die. Gohan tries his best to break free, trying to block the blast in any way possible. And something strange happens. He feels a burst of power in him, and within a split second, his aura flares up. There's a brilliant flash of light. He punches 17 in the face, knocking him back and freeing himself. And he's just quick enough to jump in front of the blast. Speeding over there is so fast that even 17 and 18 are confused. They don't even notice it until 18's blast just careens up into the sky. It doesn't make contact with any of them. 17 gets back up and they look over at where the blast was. Everyone on the ground is laying there untouched, still breathing seemingly, but they can't find Gohan anywhere. 17's honestly surprised he broke free, and 18 thinks she just blew him up with the blast. That's why they can't find him anywhere. 18 walks over to the others, while 17 just looks around standing in the same spot. And suddenly, 17 feels something weird. For a split second, it feels like the air pressure around him. It just changes. He can't describe it. He can't sense any energy, obviously. He just feels some sort of weird pressure. The air gets hotter, just for a brief moment, as some sort of glow appears behind him, and he sees a shadow in front of him. He tries to look behind him and see what's there, but he's not quick enough. He feels a sharp pain to his left side, a kick that completely shatters his arm. And just as quickly as that, he feels a sharp blow to his gut, making him keel over on the ground. 18 hears him, looking over as she sees Gohan standing there. He's in that same Super Saiyan form. Well, it looks like it. But his hair looks slightly different, and his aura, it's more intense. There's lightning around it too. She points a finger at Gohan and launches a blast. And in one swift motion, Gohan launches over, grabbing the blast and flinging it right back at her. And not only is she hit by her own attack, but a punch from Gohan as well. As he sweeps his arm and knocks her to where 17 is. The pain they feel from this. What just happened? How did Gohan actually damage them? They were so above them before. This kid, he can't be that strong. No, it has to be a fluke. But they have to face the facts too. 17 grabs his arm in pain. It's completely broken. All those attacks, they weren't flukes. Something happened. Something made this kid stronger. Gohan then screams. His aura flares up. A crater forms around him. Once again he vanishes, going over to where Krillin is. He's holding a bag of senzu. They only have a few, but that should be enough. Quickly he breaks some beans into different pieces, dashing around and feeding them to everyone. And the androids watch on in disbelief. Everyone weakly gets back up. Those weren't full senzus, but it was enough to help restore them a little bit. And Piccolo's jaw drops. The power that he senses. Is that Gohan? And Vegeta comments on it too. Something's changed about him. Gohan looks back at the group to make sure that they're all up, eating a small fraction of a senzu that he took for himself, and then disappears from their sight once more. He appears in front of the androids, and a fight ensues. They can't do anything against him, especially since they've taken damage already. He fends both the androids off, empowered by rage, empowered by this new form, whatever this is, and that little boost that he got from that fraction of a senzu beam. This is fueling him. He'll stop the androids here. He's already lost Goku. He's not going to lose any more of his friends here. Everyone that he's worked so hard to protect. It is his role after all. He needs to use this power to defeat the androids and prevent any threats from destroying everything here. In one last effort, the androids jump up in the air. They float back to back, looking down at Gohan. They start charging massive balls of energy and firing them directly down below with a flurry of endless powerful blasts. But they don't even hit the ground. Gohan simply shouts. His aura grows even larger, deflecting all the blasts. He charges ki in his fist, stretching it out and making a powerful leap up into the air. A geyser of ki surrounds him. It almost looks like a dragon even. He launches up at a shocking speed, cutting through all their blasts, and there's a brilliant explosion of light. He makes contact with the two androids, swinging his fist and tilting himself, punching a hole through 17 and then through 18, lining the two of them up, and he follows through, continuing to fly upwards. There's a massive explosion of ki behind him where he made impact, and for good measure, he turns around, quickly performing a Kamehameha, erasing whatever's left of the androids. The clouds above part. The city's illuminated in brilliant glow. It almost looks like a dragon is looming over the city. The way Gohan leapt up and curved, it looks like something they see from the Dragon Balls. And Gohan floats back down, with small golden particles of ki falling from the sky behind him. He calmly powers down, looking up, with that serious look on his face going away. He smiles. It's over. They defeated the androids. Krillin stands up. No, they didn't defeat the androids. That was Gohan. That was all him. That amazing power. They can't believe what they just saw. But Gohan says it was a group effort. Besides, he couldn't have done all this without him. He wouldn't have summoned that anger without them either. The desire to protect them grows stronger with everyone here too, and the willpower that he inherited from Goku. That's all what drove him to do this. Without all that, they would have lost. It wasn't just Gohan. And Vegeta's there with his jaw agape, completely speechless. That's a new level of power. Gohan's not just a Super Saiyan anymore, he's gone beyond that. It has to be. That's what that is. Somehow, the immense rage he was feeling, that pushed him over the edge, that caused him to transform into whatever this is. And he just barely got a control over Super Saiyan recently. And now he has this, a level beyond it? Vegeta can't believe it. Following this, we start to enter that 7-year time skip. A lot of this part is going to go differently too. Of course, Goten's not going to be born here either. Again, it's kind of like the future timeline. So, Goten's never born. The group tries to think of ways to bring Goku back, but they have no idea of how to. Although, Gohan keeps it in the back of his mind. Even if they can't, he's still going to keep up his training. He'll be the strongest here. But at the same time, they will look for ways to bring Goku back. They're not just going to sit there and let him be dead. Although, he's probably having the time of his life up there in Otherworld. Or the time of his death, I guess. Vegeta continues trying to catch up to Gohan, wanting to improve himself in any way possible. If there's a level beyond Super Saiyan, he could access that as well. And while Goten isn't born, Gohan does end up bonding with Trunks. Trunks thinks he's awesome because he's the strongest person around. And while he does admire Vegeta too, he does occasionally leave the house to try and train with Gohan, even though he is very young. But Gohan says it's fine. I mean, he started training as a kid too. Actually, younger than Trunks even. He'd be glad to show him the ropes. Besides, he does have to keep this going after all. The whole point of the story is Gohan being incredibly motivated to train because of Goku. And that's not just going to be him, that's going to extend to everybody around him too. So, he wants Trunks to grow that strong too. He wants him to see the same sort of power. And while Gohan is focused on his training, he doesn't completely lose focus on his studying. Especially now that Goku's not around, Chi-Chi is going to make him try to study more. Which is fine, Gohan likes that. Gohan wants to be a scholar still. He just has a way better balance between work and fighting. And eventually he does enroll in school. Although, strangely enough, he enrolls in a school in some place called Satan City. After the androids attack, it appears that somebody named Mr. Satan took credit for that. He actually just so happened to be in the city at the time, and they never saw the rest of the fighters leave. They just saw Mr. Satan walk by triumphantly, parting the clouds, defeating the androids with a miraculous glow. They have no clue what he did or how he did it, but they just accept him as their savior essentially. Mr. Satan defeated the androids and got all the credit for it. Well, that's kinda good for Gohan. He does want to remain under the radar after all too. Although it's kinda weird because he has a tail. And while he did consider removing it, he actually just hides it. Which is as weird as it sounds, trying to hide it in his pants. Which sounds really strange out of context, but I mean, what else is he supposed to do? He thinks it could be useful for fighting because it's an extra appendage, it's basically another arm. But at the same time, if people from school saw his tail, yeah, that would be kinda strange. Although, it also helps his identity as Great Saiyaman. He still does take up this mantle. He does like protecting people after all, so he becomes the Great Saiyaman. And whenever he's in costume, his tail is free. Which gives him more reason to have to hide that tail. Because if anyone ever saw it, I mean, he's the only one with the tail besides the Great Saiyaman, so it's easy to put 2 and 2 together. And he actually learns from Vegeta that he could just wrap it around his waist, and then try to wear baggy enough clothes to hide it. Still very weird, but hey, at least it makes him not stick out. Although, he does stick out to some people still, because he's very weird, especially Videl notices. And she wants to get to the bottom of who the Great Saiyaman is. And this is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next time, especially with everything that's changed here? Will they find a way to bring Goku back? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It shows me you want to see more like this, and it really does help out the channel. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.